Welcome back, and welcome to our weekly edition of All Things Women in Sports. We are starting this week on the volleyball court, as this weekend was the 2026 League One Volleyball Championships. This is the professional volleyball league that's also known as LOVB, and it was a comeback championship win for Austin. They are now your back-to-back LOVB champions. They dropped the first game of the series, this final series, to Salt Lake on Thursday, but then Austin came back to win the next two matches this weekend for their second straight title. And this woman right here, Madison Skinner, was named the championship match MVP for the second year in a row. Now she and Austin will get a bit of a break before LOVB Season 3 kicks off in January 2027 as Austin takes on Nebraska. And speaking of champions, Oklahoma won their second consecutive title this weekend at the NCAA Gymnastics Championships. Oklahoma has now won 4 titles in the last 5 years. They just barely topped second place LSU, followed by third place Florida and fourth place finishers Minnesota. Also this weekend, it was the Boston Marathon. And for the second straight year, your women's champion is Kenya's Sharon Lokdi. She did it in 2 hours, 18 minutes, and 51 seconds to lead an all-Kenyan podium sweep. It's the 4th fastest time ever by a woman at the Boston Marathon. But the U.S. women also dominated this year's Boston Marathon. There were 4 American runners in the top 10, and it was Arizona-born Jess McLean right there who finished 5th overall, breaking the U.S. course record by more than a minute. It also marks McLean's second consecutive year as the top American finisher of the Boston Marathon. All right, for my hockey fans, the PWHL regular season ends this weekend and the playoffs follow very quickly. So let's check out the standings as the season wraps up. The top 4 teams in this league of 8 advance to postseason play. And while Montreal, Boston, and Minnesota have all clinched their playoff berths, Toronto and Ottawa still battling it out for that final spot. And this weekend, the U.S. women's national team played their final of 3 friendlies against Japan, winning this final game 3-0. Overall, the U.S. won 2 of these 3 friendlies against a powerhouse Japanese team. And all 3 goals this weekend came in the second half. FIFA's next international window will be this June, and while we don't know who Team USA will be hitting just yet, there are rumors they will face off against 2027 World Cup host Brazil. We'll certainly keep you updated right here on The Current. We also have 3 local ladies nominated for this week's Midwest Technical Institute Score Standout. First up, we got Mackenzie Moran from Sherrard. She went 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 runs, and a double. So pull out your phones. You can scan this QR code right here, and it'll take you directly to the page where you can vote for any of this week's nominees. You can also always find it on our website, WQAD.com. And Mackenzie is joined by Alyssa Brinkman from Allman, who had a home run and 4 RBIs, and Sloan Moeller from Davenport Central, who had 4 goals and an assist in a win over Central DeWitt. You have until tomorrow at noon to cast your vote, and each week's winner is featured on Off the Cuff. Finally tonight, I've got some Iowa basketball news for you. Audie Crooks, the biggest name in the transfer portal, has committed to Oklahoma State. Crooks spent 3 very successful seasons at Iowa State, but she's now staying in the Big 12 with this move to the Cowboys. Crooks averaged 25 points a game last year, which was 2nd in Division I, and she has 1 year of eligibility left. And finally, after a successful basketball career at Iowa, Sydney Falter took on a new role with the Hawks as a grad assistant. And recently, she was at St. Ambrose University in Davenport to talk about her experiences in the black and gold. She said she grew a lot, and she really transformed into a leader for the Hawks, someone the younger players could rely on. You can watch her full interview with News 8 Sports Director Corey Kuffler this weekend on The Score Sunday. And that'll do it for this week's edition of Women in Sports.